If you got it.
This is ludicrous. Let's Mr. A to the Z exhibit. Disturbing the peace.
If you got it, you got it, you got it.
Flaunt it. What's your name?
Wendy Williams.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
What your ears are about to witness, the greatest queen of all time. Okay, party people in the house. Turn it up, yo. Turn it up. This is it. Allow me to reintroduce this queen. Representing
From west to east.
Just better get it right. Y'all know the name. Wendy Williams. Been in this game for a while. I hate to brag.
Ain't nobody
Hey, this phenomenal.
like the queen.
Right here.
Who the world is this? So much drama.
From yo block to yo block. I heard of the number one female.
Been doing this for years.
Every barbershop, beauty salon.
Who the world is this? So much
Again and again. Wendy Williams, bringing your name up. A lot of you haters scared to death.
She at it again.
Wendy Williams.
She in it the win.
Wendy Williams.
She back and she staying.
Wendy Williams.
The ain't playing. I like to present you. The winner of the Game Shoot of the Year award.
Once again.
Introducing the queen.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Glad to be here. We're good to go. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'm feeling real good, too. Today, we're going to talk about the continuing estate trial of Lamont Bentley. As you know, I was priming the pump for this trial all along, so I'm not going to let you down in terms of my following of the saga, and it's really something else. Plus, we'll talk about the desperate damn housewives. We'll talk about Joss Stone, Fat Joe, the Beckhams of England. We'll talk about Oprah and Jamie, and you know what? Didn't I tell you? Okay. Wait until you find out what I found out. We're also going to talk about the porn star friend of the show, Heather Hunter. That and a whole lot more. Of course, we've got Advice Hour coming up. No guests today, so we can continue to gossip through our entire time together. And, of course, the phone lines are open at 866-GET-WENDY. Hang on, people. I'm at the wheel, and it is what it is. It's the Wendy Williams Experience.
This is Fire! Exclusively on Wendy Williams.
Wendy got the heat.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and distinction that I introduce to you the queen of all media, Wendy Williams.
Hey. What's really good, everybody? Welcome to the radio program. Glad to be here. I spent my morning home gooding. Shout out to all the ladies and gentlemen who know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm glad to be here. You know, today is the first official day of the Lamont Bentley estate trial. And, you know, I want to cover this diligently for you. This is not getting a lot of media attention. Shout out to the people at Us Weekly Magazine. Shout out to my friends at In Touch Magazine. I so wish that you all would just jump on this trial. You don't have to cover every day, but if you would just, paint a broad stroke. I mean, this is a man who starred on a sitcom sitcom that was very popular, Moesha. For how many years was Brandy's show on? Years. And, Brandy does have a bit of crossover success that dictates that her sitcom wasn't just, another Negro spiritual. The little white kids and the little Asian kids and the little Puerto Rican kids watched it also. And in addition to that, this man amassed money like a white actor. So if you need a reason, he wasn't just some dumb Negro on some dumb Negro show. He's actually a smart guy, Lamont Bentley. $21.6 million as I reviewed this case with you. And I like to re-review before I give you new information. Okay, so he was on Moesha. He played Hakeem. It turns out his estate was worth $21.6 million. Way back in the day, he got involved with the Smith Barney Young Investors Group. This is when he was starring in South Central, a short-lived show from back in 93 or something like that. Nobody would have ever thought, most young black men are busy buying rims with their first, paycheck in Hollywood or gold or whatever the hell. But he was busy being a part of, something long-lasting. Through the Young Investors Group, he bought strip malls and apartment buildings, and needless to say, at the end of his short-lived life, when his car rolled down the embankment, his body got flung from the car. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt. It was run over 5 different times by 5 different vehicles in the middle of the freeway. Ugh, what a terrible way to go. He ended up leaving behind a baby's mother of 2 of his daughters and a mother who, in my opinion, doesn't seem to know her place. That's just my opinion. And I know I'm a mother, and any one of us mothers can be in this position. But, stories like this serve with me. If my son is lucky enough to start amassing a little fortune, he's going to have a separate little addendum, to every situation. This is for my mother. Now, Mom, you stay out of any type of, dust kick up, God forbid. You know what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, the mother does deserve something, but she doesn't deserve to be fighting full frontal against the grandchildren. The baby's mother, I don't know what she was other than some woman who bore his kids. They had a relationship for a moment, but he was messing with Paula J. Parker. Paula J. Parker is falling back. At first, Paula jumped up like she wanted a piece of something. Exactly. Well, on the first day of the Lamont Bentley estate trial, the color of the day, they say, was green. An investment broker, a Screen Actors Guild representative, and a hip-hop lyricist all took the stand to disclose the components of his estate from their point of view. Now, excuse me. The person from Smith Barney, Mr. Fitzsimmons, was the first one called to give testimony. And in a summary, he said that he was asked by the attorney to give detailed account of Bentley's history with the company Smith Barney. He went on to say that in May of 1994, here's his quote, Lamont, who was 21 at the time. What 21-year-old? I mean, yes, it's done, but it's usually not done by, a person who wasn't raised with a bunch of money. You know what I mean? At 21, you know what you're thinking of buying. Namely, 10 years worth of Chief, a fancy car with a stash box, and like that. Anyway, in May of 1994, Lamont, who was 21 at the time, he goes on to say, came into Century City office of Smith Barney because he saw our ad for Young Investors Network in the LA Times. Lamont liked the concept of our ad. Investing equals committing money with a goal of financial return. So he joined the Young Investors Group. He opened the account with a cashier's check for $28,600. Oh, this check was money he had saved from the 10 episodes of the short-lived Fox series South Central. Mr. Simmons went on to disclose that Mr. Bentley opted to put the $28,600 in a long term. He wasn't even thinking short term, like I might need this money in 5 years. He was a risk taker. Long-term account, a stock investment that Mr. Bentley could not touch for 5 years, a decision made by and authorized by Bentley himself. Representative from the Screen Actors Guild, Amy Davenport, gave an account of income generated from his acting jobs. With the cancellation of South Central, it goes on to say Mr. Bentley returned to South Carolina to be with his baby's mother, LaDonna Fredericks, and their baby daughter at the time, Brazil. Brazil, by the way, is now 11. Although he was living in South Carolina, Mr. Bentley continued to audition for acting jobs. So you see, well, his money was earning for him. He probably couldn't afford a Hollywood apartment, probably would rather to have spent time in Carolina, you know, being grounded with his baby, and was probably still getting along very well at the time with Miss Fredericks. Anyway, this goes on to chronicle a bunch of stuff. I'll continue this later on in the show. I just, you know, there's a whole lot of information, and I'm so glad that I'm able to... Okay, Shar Jackson. Everybody wants a music career. Everybody thinks they can sing or rap. Well, you know what? Everybody can. From what Artie tells me about, you know, all the equipment in the studio and stuff. I mean, I don't know that much firsthand, you know, about what... Art, can I be made a beautiful singer, beautiful vocalist if you take me in the studio and zhuzh me up?
Of course.
Over at, like, the Chung King studio or something like that?
What you know about Chung King?
Well, you know. The hawk. Well, anyway... Shar Jackson, my friend in the name of Red Carpetry, has just developed a pop group called Impulse. Now, we talked about that, but they have a record deal. It's a 5-girl group. It's multiracial. It's R&B-ish and really funky is what she says. They appeared on 2001, The Princess Diary soundtrack. Oh, boy. And this is, Shar says that the lineup has changed, by the way. The CD is debuting this summer. And Shar goes on to say, I'm not going to say yet. I want this one to be a big surprise, but it's some really incredible people in the group. How much do you want to bet one of the people is the crazy girl from Sister to Sister who I interviewed? Ooh. You know what I mean? What's her name? Maisha Campbell? What's her name?
Maya Campbell.
Maya Campbell. The crazy girl. I bet she's in this group. Impulse. I bet you know what? I like the sound of Shar and Maya Campbell being friends. And I like the sound of them being a group. Hey, listen, I was the one who said I like the sound of Oprah getting tore down by Jamie Foxx. Oh, I love the sound of that. I can't picture Oprah having sex, but somehow I can picture Jamie Foxx tearing it out. Of course, with the young and the beautiful on the side. But, you know, that's Hollywood points. Well, shout out to my friends at In Touch Weekly magazine. Thank you, Marisol. Thank you so much. Thank you, In Touch, for giving me the scoop before the rest, before the issue even comes out. Give me the typewriter. Let me read it to you from the desk of In Touch Weekly.
Already?
Oprah Winfrey has grown close to Oscar winner Jamie Foxx. So close that some of their friends are wondering what's really going on. While Jamie is 34 and he's been hanging out lately with Selma Hayek. I told you that last week, but you know, that's nothing. Our sources say the real woman in his life is 51-year-old Oprah. This is just what I said. You know, you hang with Oprah and then, what is that, 37?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't believe Jamie's 34 either. You can count the rings on his teeth. I mean, you know, he's not 34. 37, please. I was going to say between 38 and 40. Yeah. But whatever. I mean, you know, I just judged over it because I'm used to it.
Okay, you should.
Yeah. Okay. They became close when he appeared on her talk show before the Oscars, and they've grown closer ever since. Sidebar, he won the Oscar. They talk all the time and have privately seen each other in Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York. And according to insiders, Oprah's longtime boyfriend Stedman never questioned the friendship with Jamie. Oprah has never looked better, so it's easy to see why Jamie would be attracted to her since she's now a hottie. Meanwhile, Jamie's pals say that he is totally in awe of Oprah. He's attracted to her on every level. Yeah, imagine the pimp points he would get for knocking that down, while still having Selma Hayek and a smattering of others on the side. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We can save this.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'll put this right here.
It's in this hour.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next break. It's like, whoa, every day is a hustle. Trying to go. Thank you. Shout out to MOP. All right. It's like, whoa. Man, listen. Carlos Watson, I got the advanced copy of June Ebony magazine. Did I tell you guys that Ebony is now Oh, gosh. I'm the one who's actually going to choose the final 3 finalists, but Ebony wants to be a part of the process of getting Carlos hooked up with one of the lovelies in the broad listening audience that we have here on The Experience Now. They actually asked me whether I wanted to get involved in hooking up Bryce Wilson. And I turned it down. It's too much. It's too much for me. I said last weekend that I was going to, start judging through the girls who've already applied to be one of the 3 finalists to date Carlos Watson. The weekend got too busy, and then it rained, and then I didn't want to be bothered doing anything. So I got to do it this weekend. Tomorrow is the last day that you get a chance, and you can email Nicole at WBLS.com. That's our flagship station here in New York. Nicole at WBLS.com. And Nicole is accepting kind of like your application to date Carlos Watson. Carlos, everybody, is a 35-year-old bachelor from Mountain View, California, based in New York City. He's a CNN political analyst. He loves to travel. He's visited more than 30 countries. He wants a girl who loves the world and loves life, who's genuine, kind, and makes him laugh. His ideal woman is open, fun, and carefree. And sidebar, has a career of her own, that if he ever said, hey, baby, how would you like to do absolutely nothing except for take care of the kids? He would like to be able to offer that luxury to his woman. But he also wants you to come to the table with something. You've got to be something more than, TNA. It's like, whoa, hustle. And I'm looking in these bachelors, and I see Nate Morris from Boys to Men is one. Nate's looking real hot. Bryce Wilson. I see Marcus Houston. Let me see you get naked. Yeah. I don't take the young boys serious when they get in this, though. Marcus is 23. He got a show on and is in CD at, you ain't serious about nobody trying to holler at you through Ebony Magazine, Marcus Houston, all them girls following after you. But Carlos Watson, on the other hand, he's 35. I take this serious. If you're serious, jot down a little something about yourself, including your educational background, and do you have children? Carlos will take you with kids. He just wants to know that you got yours to be able to handle your kids so you're not dipping into his pocket. And he didn't say that, but I'll say it for him. And don't forget to enclose your picture. And you can email Nicole at WBLS.com. And tomorrow is the last day of date Carlos Watson. Okay, we'll be back.
It's Wendy, man.
I just passed the NYPD exam. Prior to this, I got a manslaughter case. I stabbed my mom's boyfriend because he beat her up. Okay. I'd like to know if I should just tell them up front that I did that.
You're going to sound crazy.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
Oh, hold on. I made my own lunch today and brought it in. Working in Manhattan particularly, you could easily spend $20 a day on food. $4 for Starbucks. Another $15 for lunch. And then if you park, forget about it. $40. And I want to talk to you about LA weight loss because I want to tell you what I brought for lunch today. I brought spinach leaves in a piece of Glad Tupperware. Spinach leaves, shredded carrots, shredded cabbage. I made an oven stuffer over the weekend. I just love that. You know how I make mine? I take 2 lemons peeled. I put them inside the oven stuffer. And I use cooking twine and close up the hole. You see what I'm saying? Put it in the oven and then I wait for the thing to pop up. And I put, herbs and stuff on the outside. And so many different ways to eat oven stuffer. Today I have it broken up in my salad, and it's a big salad, and I feel great. And I feel like, thank you, LA Weight Loss, because yesterday I had something that wasn't so good for me at lunch. But, today, I'm back on. I had a Weight Watchers ice cream sandwich on my ride in to work. And the great thing about LA Weight Loss is that you could incorporate a lot of, like, the lean cuisines, the Weight Watch. You can incorporate a lot of the other different programs and lose weight. It's real food for real people. They've been in business since 1989. There are over 650 LA weight loss locations around the world, and certainly there's going to be one near you. I'll give you the telephone number because really, spring is here. What is that all doing around your waist? You know that's not good for you. High blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, osteoporosis, self-esteem, low energy, low confidence. When you're ready, how about you just take the number and tuck it in one of your folds? 1-800-448-TRIM. No, you will. 1-800-448-TRIN. LA Weight Loss combines personalized a meal plan using your everyday favorite foods. Do you know that there is no food group off limits on LA Weight Loss? Isn't that great? For people like me and you who love to eat, that is great. You eat everyday normal food with no dangerous drugs involved and no expensive prepackaged meals. LA Weight Loss features a variety of foods. Like I said, no food group is off limits. They teach you how to lose weight without giving up your favorite foods and feeling deprived and hungry. Not only that, but each person on LA Weight Loss is provided with a one-on-one weight loss counselor. Fabulous, because you can talk candidly with your personal one-on-one counselor about anything. Quite frankly, you can go from weight loss to your sex life in 2.2 seconds. They listen to it all.
You mean you could eat dairy?
Yes, you can eat dairy.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, it's wonderful.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
What, is that your thing? You're a dairy nista?
I love cheese.
Yeah.
And butter.
Me too. Me too. I use the Country Crock. What do you use at your house?
Land of Lakes butter.
Oh, you are real old school. I didn't even think anybody used real butter anymore.
Extra creamy is actually better than margarine.
Well, I don't know what shed spread Country Crock is, but that's what I use. I get a big old crock, and I use that. Yeah, a big one. You would think I have the Brady Bunch in my house. Mm-hmm. You can visit your LA Weight Loss counselor as many times as you feel like it. You don't even need an appointment. You call up and you talk about your weight, and then you get into your sex life. You call up and you talk about your weight, and then talk about your date from Friday night. Ooh. Because somehow it's all related to your weight. In their minds. Find out what millions of people already know, including me, how terrific LA Weight Loss is. I'll give you the telephone number one time. It's easy to remember. 1-800-448-TRIM. Now I want to talk with you about what's all doing in Harlem with the with Hal Jackson and Debbie B. Now, throughout the month of April, and there's not much time left, you can join Hal and Debbie, the Sunday Classics, honey, here on WBLS. They host something called Harlem Nights, and Harlem Nights takes place at a variety of venues. Now, it's always on Friday. This coming Friday, they're going to be from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Mobay's. Do you know where that is? 125th and Madison. Hal and Debbie with a live performance by Lonnie Youngblood. Mobay's, 125th Street and Madison Avenue. They'll be there from 8 to 10 p.m. Okay? So check them out on Friday, and that's, of course, from the radio station with today's R&B classic soul, home of the $100,000 cash guarantee, and featuring the Wendy Williams Experience. Oh, the title of the station's getting longer and longer. We're 107.5 WBLS. Yeah, y'all. It's the Wendy Williams Experience, everybody. Before we go on any further, it's time for the Inside Scoop, sponsored by JCPenney. Thank you, JCPenney, for being big sponsors here on the show. I love the Inside Scoop because we talk fashion, one of my favorite things, and I'm a high-low person. There are certain things I like high-end, and there are other things that I like low-end. And when I say low-end, I mean I bought this T-shirt on Sunset when I was in LA for $5. But isn't it cute? It says beauty is pain. That's it. You know? I'm a cheap bastard. I have no idea. Anyway, the point is that JCPenney, they are priced right. They are priced so correctly that there's something for everyone inside JCPenney. That's why the tag phrase is it's all inside JCPenney. Now, they have shoes for the season. Let's go over the 10 fashion must-haves for the new season, girls. Flats. You might do flats. I don't do flats. Flats, they're at JCPenney. All kind of flats. The round-toed, the pointy-toed, the moccasin ones, the, peasant skirts. Do you do peasant skirts? Why not try them? As opposed to going, I saw a peasant skirt the other day for like $425. I was like, there is no way. It looks no different than the ones that I saw at JCPenney. I happen to have been looking, sampling, saying, okay, well, if this is something I do, I don't want to spend a lot of money on it because, it's an of-the-moment purchase. I just, you understand what I'm saying? The price is right, and they are fashion-forward at JCPenney. All right, so what do we have so far in the 10 must-haves for the season? Flats, peasant skirts. They got them at JCPenney. How about number 3, walking shorts? I love walking shorts. I have thighs of a certain cheesiness, if you know what I'm saying, and I think you do. Nobody needs to see what's all doing up there. I keep it from the knee down. Thank you. With my shorts. Walking shorts. Of course you can get them at JCPenney. All right, we're up to fashion find number 4 for the season. Two-tone bags. Two-tone bags are big for the season. They got them at JCPenney. Number 5, bangles, and more bangles. The wood ones, the plastic ones, bangles.
Variety.
Yeah, a variety of bangles. Go to JCPenney. Does it sound terrible for me to say get the look for less? Why not? You got other fish to fry in your life. Why should fashion be so costly? All right, we're up to fashion find number 6 for the season. Safari jackets. People love them. Of course, they have to start with the khaki color. Now, as to whether or not you choose the 4 pockets or the band collar or the snap front or the trench style or the Panama weave is up to you. All I'm saying is safari jackets are big for the season. Right, we're up to fashion find number 7, tunics. I love tunics. When you're feeling like your booty's not looking so great, you put on a tunic. When it's looking cute, when your whole figure is looking cute and you want to show it without showing it, you put on a flimsy tunic where all you have on is a bra and your jeans and people see your figure. Because the sun is shining right through your tunic. You see what I'm saying? Tunics are big for the season. They got them at JCPenney. Oversized glasses. They got them at JCPenney. That's fashion find number 8. Let's do number 9 and then number 10, and then we're out. Espadrille wedgies. Ooh. Now, Art, you're a footnista. Yes. You like when the girls wear the espadrilles with the rope heel?
I love it.
Find them at JCPenney. And sundresses. Sundresses. Timeless. That's fashion find number 10. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all inside JCPenney. And that is your Inside Scoop, sponsored by JCPenney. It's brought to you by JCPenney stores, JCPenney catalog, and JCPenney.com. It's all inside. Oh, yes. It's all inside. JC where? JCPenney. I love you, JCPenney. Thank you. All right, let's move on. Kanye West is about to release the first single from his July 12th slated release date of his new CD. Boy, that was a confusing sentence, wasn't it? What I mean is he has a new single out. It's called Diamonds. And he's got a CD that Diamonds is on that'll be released on July 12th. It's a sophomore CD. It's called Late Register. You know what?
I heard Diamonds.
You did?
Yes.
You like it, though, Zoe? Yeah. And Art hates it. I'll go with you, Zoe. Sometimes Art can be a bitter old man. I was thinking about you over the weekend and doing the calculations, by the way. 27 my behind, but that's okay. I'm 29.
You look it, too.
Thank you. And if you would only grease in that gray patch, you would, too. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. When Steve Lindsay mixes my hair, I tell him Nair gray first. As a matter of fact, when he picks it from Lugo's, I think it's Lugo's responsibility. Since, you pay extra to get custom blended hair, I don't want gray hair in my custom blended hair. Now, pick it out. Don't try to tell me it's blonde. Because for this season, I like, marcations of blonde in my hair. Then I go to chocolate for fall into winter. I've season, they try to put some gray in there. You take that out now.
Gray is sexy.
On who?
Anybody.
If Oprah had gray hair, would she still be as hot?
Well, maybe not her.
Okay. If Vanessa Williams let it go gray, what would you be saying?
Oh, okay. You can put that where?
Okay. Certainly not in there. If Ashanti had gray hair, would that be sexy?
Right now, for a minute.
Because she's in her 20s.
Yeah.
As soon as she hits 30, that's it.
Yeah.
Break out the color.
Yeah.
Now, if you color the hair on your head, but you miss like 5 sprigs of coochie hair, is that a turn off?
Won't be eating there no more.
In that old diner. Speaking of old diners, let's talk about Anita Baker. Love you, Anita. I just needed a segue. That's all, girlfriend. Do you remember Outkast visiting her compound in Detroit? Remember I was telling you about that last week? Or was that this week? Wait, this week just got started because it's Tuesday.
This is Anita Baker, checking out the queen of radio.
Come on, why'd you have to
Wendy
play that?
Williams.
She called you the queen.
Exactly, and now I feel like I can't tell the story effectively. Anita, I'm sorry, but this is part of news. And quite frankly, this news is making more news than whatever music that you currently have out. I mean, your oldies stuff, Caught Up in the Rapture, timeless. But does she have a new CD out? See, who knows? But to keep your name alive, Anita, we must talk about you. Look, Outkast went to visit his Big Boy and Andre 3000. They went for a social call, or excuse me, they went for a business call to visit Anita in Detroit. Something about a collabo on an Outkast, something or another. And I told you last week when I was telling the story that Anita had her attorney there, and she kept answering her cell phone, and she asked the boys, do they invest their money well, and that she suggests chain restaurants. You know, she's involved with IHOP, and that she has a good broker for them to use. And the boys were a bit taken back because they were like, oh my gosh, everything was so businesslike and stodgy. And when I finished telling the story, I said, that is how it's supposed to be, because a crow like Anita Baker only knows hip hop from the bang bang shoot 'em up perspective. And unfortunately, boys, she mixes you up with that. When shots are fired outside radio stations, you know, Game was just hit with a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. We'll talk about that later on in the show. But you know, like when things happen, they all get lumped in by the crows. You don't expect the crows to know the difference between the behavior of Andre 3000 and Joel Santana. By the way, a shout out to Jim Jones and Joel Santana. Thank you for lacing me lovely on Wendy Brings the Heat, Volume 1. Love you. Dipset, dipset. But back to Anita. She's firing back. And here's what she says. It was not a social call. I told them when we arranged the meeting that it was a meeting, but they came over as if they were going to have tea and crumpets.
Damn.
The songstress went on to say, I don't need the money, so I didn't need to work with Outkast. They're talented guys, but they thought because they're black and I'm black that I was going to be casual. But this was about business, and that's why my lawyer was there. I agree with Anita Baker. That's it. Advice Hour's coming up.
It's Wendy, man.
You're so hot. And I want to be you. I don't want you to like her. I don't want my girlfriend to be you. Let's do it.
The Wendy Williams Experience. Everybody needs some.
Should I leave? Like, is that selfish to my son?
Come get some.
Let me tell you, Wendy, it's really a trouble with a dude.
Advice out.
I'm having a problem with my fiance and his family.
I was in a relationship with this girl for like 18 months. She told me the relationship meant nothing.
Always drama.
Call Wendy right now. 1-866-GET-WENDY. Fax Wendy at 866-WENDY-FAX.
Wendy, can you give me advice on plastic surgery?
Yo, did you catch this flashback?
Somebody make a copy of the memo that we've all received concerning Cisco and send it to Samantha Mumbo. You know the English black girl singer? Cisco is her new boyfriend. You see what I'm saying? Now, fire off a memo to this girl. No, just make a copy of the one that we've already received. We all have the memo.
How you doing?
Okay?
You sit right here. Miss a day, miss a whole lot. Coming through your speakers, boy. It's Wendy, man.
The Wendy Williams Experience, everybody, on the radio. You can check me out on the web beginning Monday at www.wendywilliamsexperience.com. It's a little website setup. Shout out to Clorox Wipes. You know I'm a Germanista. They are sponsors on the website. K Jewelers. There's going to be a contest beginning Monday running where you can win a little something blingy for you or maybe your mom for Mother's Day. So don't forget to check out the website. And I'm going to have like pictures and things like that. I mean, you know, it is what it is. All right. It's Advice Hour, though. Now, hello.
Hi. Hi, is this Wendy?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I got some problems, Wendy.
Okay.
Okay, I'm about in my early 20s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I recently failed out of school because of this guy I was dating. He's kind of like a hustler.
Okay, I know the story very well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, the worst part is that he got into something and he got locked up. So I've been stripping to take care of him and myself. Now,
do you have children with him?
Not. He has another child by some other woman.
Okay, so that child has nothing to do with you.
No.
So your parents struggled to get you a decent upbringing so that you would make the choice of going to college, and you failed out because you got mixed up with a dusty
Yes.
who now has you out there stripping, and he's locked up. And so what, pray tell, is your question to me, young lady?
Well, see, Miss Wendy, it gets complicated.
I don't want to hear the complications. What is your question to me?
All right, I met this older guy, like a sugar daddy.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. I don't even want to talk to you about this, okay? Because I realize that stories like this go on all the time. I just get upset when it gets brought to me because I can never truly understand the mentality of women like you.
Well, Miss Wendy,
whatever
do you think I should
whatever
go to
happened to your
school?
goal of getting back in school and doing for yourself?
Yeah, I want to do that. Like,
Leave the bum in jail. Leave the bum in jail alone before you are with child also. That's
Really?
number one. Number two, do your best to get off the pole and become a decent woman. You are in your young 20s. You have a chance to fall down and make mistakes, but unless you see the mistakes you make, you will stay in that same ditch that you've dug for yourself.
You're right. And then, too, like, so many, like, I want to go to real estate school. I want to get my life
Listen,
together.
I don't blame you for digging a ditch for yourself because, quite frankly, that's what the 20s are for.
Yeah.
You do all kinds of stupid stuff. You deal with all kinds of stupid situations. You are quite far down in the ditch, though. And unless you see the error of your ways, you're going to be a 30-something, 50-something, and 80-something, and your life is never going to get together. The sugar daddy, leave him alone. Why don't you go to real estate school? Work the pole, use the money, go to real estate school.
Okay.
When real estate school is finished, finish the pole, use some of those smiles, and quite frankly, the posture and what they teach you, strip in the pole and sell houses. There is nothing like a well-appointed, toned real estate agent.
Right. Like, I want to do that before because I get my butt done. Like, I wanted to get injections in my butt, but I don't know.
Where are your parents?
What?
Where are your parents?
Working.
Okay. Just asking.
I mean, Wendy, I'm just so confused. Like, being in this game, I don't know what I want anymore. I can't even look at myself in the mirror. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know why, right?
Why?
Because you let a man with a child and a rap sheet and who's in jail right now pull you down from your most basic dream, which is that you wanted to go to college. You didn't flunk out because you didn't know the work. You flunked out because you were so busy with a no-good bum. And you fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. These guys lurk on campuses all the time. I know, it was that way when I was in school, from Boston to Miami, from LA to New Jersey. There will always be hustlers lurking on campuses looking for good girls. Trust and believe, I am a good girl. I come from good girl roots. And but for the grace of God, you could have been me. But you have got to somehow start believing in yourself.
So there is hope for me, Wendy.
There is hope, but you really do have to. You have to start today, and stop listening to your friends, and stop listening to these bum guys and your older sugar daddy. I don't know what he's going to do for you except for get you pregnant. Then you'll be pulling yourself out of a ditch along with a newborn, and quite possibly many of your dreams won't get realized.
You're right. He's 75.
Oh, God. Look, girl, you know what? You need to really leave the man alone. And I'm only suggesting to you that you work the pole because I'm sure that you need money to go get your real estate license. You've got to work the pole for a bigger cause. And your bigger cause is that you don't want this life by the time you are 28.
That's right. That's right. Because a lot of these older strippers, they always say they don't have any money. So it's like, I don't want to be one of those women that's like 45 years old and I don't have a dime to my name.
Not only that, but, and 45 is closer to my age than you are, and we still are cute. But it takes a little bit more for us to get cute than it did when we were your age.
But Miss Wendy, I just wanted to say real quick, you look fabulous.
Thank you.
At all times.
Thank you. Young lady, I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Work the pole with a goal in mind of when you're going to quit. Please don't get caught up in drugs.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Leave these men alone. And the best thing that you have going for you right now is that you're young enough to have stumbled and you have time to get back up and put all this behind you. Also, you have no baby, so it's just about you and your survival.
You're right.
No babies, no drugs.
Okay.
And set a goal, a date for when you will not be working the pole anymore. Get your real estate license and keep yourself together.
You're right. You're right.
I wish you well.
Thank you, Miss Wendy.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Why do I feel like Miss Jane Pittman talking to her? Hello, hi.
Hi, Wendy.
Hey.
How you doing? I need some advice. I've been trying to fax you, and I don't like talk show advice, but I'm in desperate need.
Okay.
Okay. My name's Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the situation. I'm married to a woman. We have a child. We just found out that he's sick, and it didn't work out. I don't know why, but after the baby was born, things just didn't go right.
Okay, which one of you had the child? You, Lisa, or your partner?
My partner.
Okay.
Okay. So,
did you ever?
I lost my job. My job laid me off. So I took another job just to make sure it ends met. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, fast forward, I met this other girl. She's 25. I'm 30.
Mm-hmm.
And things happen, and I don't know, because now it's been a year and something months, and I don't know if I should go back to my family or anything like that. I'm just confused.
Well, how old are you?
30.
Go back to your family?
That's what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm asking you, go back to your family? Like, that's an option for a 30-year-old woman?
I'm not following.
Well, at 30 years old, aren't you a little young to be going back to your family?
No, when I say my family, meaning my partner and my child.
Okay.
Not my mother or anybody like that.
Okay. Well, do you love your partner enough to go back and continue the relationship, or are you only going back because you lost your job and you need money?
No, I have my job. I have a better job. I just took a job.
Oh, I'm all confused. All right. Well, since you were never officially married, then you were never officially divorced, and I suppose it's always a swinging door at that particular point. Does she want to take you back?
We're just, yes, I know she does. But it would be really hard work, and I don't know if we both...
Well, that's what all relationships are hard work, the ones that are worthwhile. And it seems like it's worth fighting, being that you have a child. Although, have you officially adopted the child?
Negative, no.
All right. If you guys were to get a divorce, so to speak, do you pay child support?
Yeah, I give her $800 a month.
All right. Well, so...
And she's milking me for all my money.
I mean, sure.
However,
sure.
You know, I feel slighted, but then I feel like, you know, for 12 years, this is the woman that's been in my corner, no matter what. And then I feel like the other woman, you know, right now she's giving me support, you know, mental and emotional support, but she's young and
okay.
I don't know.
If you hit the lottery for $10 million, would you go back to the woman who has a child?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, so then that's where you need to be. I wish you well. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Because that pretty much cuts to the chase to me. You know what I mean? $10 million, you either bounce or not. You know, if you stay in, then that's who you really love. Hello?
Hi, Wendy. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Just a quick question.
Okay.
I heard earlier on BLS that New Edition was going to be in concert at Madison Square Garden. Any
Yes,
info?
honey. June 10th.
Okay. June 10th. Did you announce that?
Yeah, we just did. You just asked and I just did.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Bye.
And New Edition is also on VH1 with that behind the... We're having open the door. Let's see what all is doing out there in the hall. Oh, it stopped?
Hello.
Okay, we were having a fire alarm. New Edition on Wednesday, everybody, or Thursday, excuse me, Behind the Music at 10 o'clock on VH1, my channel. Hello, hi.
Hi, Wendy.
Yeah, it's about...
I'm in a dilemma. Actually, right now, at the current moment, I'm dating a rapper. He's like a little bit low key right now. He's kind of coming out, and he just told me, he just revealed to me that he's in a serious relationship with a girlfriend. He doesn't want me around, blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And I'm out. You know, he's on the down low, but I'm out, and it's really hard because he constantly like shuns me. Like, he doesn't talk to me anymore.
If I was gay, I could never date somebody who was still in the closet. It's got to be hard as hell.
That's what I'm
saying. Not only, first of all, realize he's a cheat. So if he's going to cheat on her, he's going to cheat on you. That's number one. He's a liar, number two.
But he treats me good, though.
Well, not really, because he treats you good so you won't blow up his spot, probably. I mean, if I was in the closet, I'd treat you good, too, because ultimately speaking, my motive would be, I don't want you blowing me up. And if I buy you a new Prada bag, you're not going to put me on blast to my girl. And so therefore, I can keep up my beard so that the world doesn't know that I'm gay. So when my rap career finally does get some acknowledgement, I can play myself off as a rapper, when in actuality, I'm another, gay rapper.
I know, but I mean, my situation is a little different with me and him because, he's really good to me. He calls me, you know what I mean? He tells me he just signed his deal actually with Def Jam, and I probably shouldn't have said that. Oh my God, but basically,
I gotta tell you something. I don't care who he is, but Art is mouthing to me. Who is he? So what are his initials?
What? I don't want to give that out because it's too much, but he's a brown-skinned rapper, and, that's about it. Right now, we're at the point where I'm just like, should I just be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Should I cake off, or should I sit back, relax, and just be like, yo, you know what? Maybe I'm going to write everything down and possibly have a book to write someday.
I say it's not worth the heartache. If he's about to embark on a rap career and stuff, those late night studio things, first of all, you will not be his only man person, okay? Because in addition to having a girlfriend as a beard, that boy will now be running around the world, at the very least all over New York City, doing all of this and that. Do you really want to put yourself in emotional as well as sexual health risk? Is it really worth caking off? Is it really worth the emotional baggage? My answer is no. You asked me, should you? I say no. I thank you for calling.
Thank you.
All right. You know what? It's still advice hour, and certainly we will continue in this vein. But you know what? Just to repeat, because somebody asked me about AJ last hour, and I got this, was it yesterday or last week? I guess it wasn't last week, because apparently over the weekend, they say that AJ got married in Barbados, and there was a reception at a restaurant, and Dougie Fresh did the music at the reception, and David Levy was there, but David is always in Barbados. David rocking you, and Tiffany from BET behaved like a ghetto hoe at the reception, and AJ got wasted. He let his hair out, so to speak, making sure everybody had a bottle of Belvedere. He's very gracious. It says that Free was there, and Gabrielle Union was there, looking stunning. Jill Marie Jones, music, Jackie Reed. I have a hard time believing he got married. I mean, why? Keep it here.
Wendy, man.
I am looking for a type of job in which I can teach females how to give good professionals. I'm very interested in that. I'm very good at it.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
107.5 WBLS. Today's R&B and classic soul. Accent on the classic. I've got an emotions classic for downtown. Just keep it where you got it, okay? Anyway, everyone, I'm here to talk to you about what's going on here at WBLS. Now, on Saturday at noon, the WBLS street team will be over at the Queens Center Food Court over in Queens, and yet you can be there too. Men, Pierre Cardin, and Details Magazine are looking for male models. Now, you must be at the Queens Center Food Court on Saturday by 12 noon. They're going to look you over one time. They're going to ask you to twirl, I guess, see what you're working with. And then at 2 o'clock is the fashion show. If you're not chosen for the fashion show, you're not. If you are, who knows? It could be one fashion show there, and the next thing you know, Pierre Cardin, company could fall in love with you, and you could be in Paris by next week this time. You never know, but it all starts with you being on time on Saturday at 12 noon. And let them look you over, a once-over. They don't say bring headshots, so don't bring anything extra. I mean, you are the headshot. Just exfoliate on Friday night so that, you look good for Saturday, okay? All right, great. And now I want to take a moment to shout out to our great sponsors, Verizon Wireless, here at the Wendy Williams Experience. I love them. And I've got my telephone now that takes movies and whatnot. Get the hottest content with the richest of broadband right on your telephone. It's fantastic. It's called VCast, only from Verizon Wireless. VCast is terrific. You can watch clips that you love to see right there on your telephone, clips of whatever. I can watch interviews, stand-up comedy, the hottest gossip from VH1. I can tune into Comedy Central. I can tune into E! Entertainment. These are all the channels that I care about. So this VCast is right up my alley. I don't care about sports, but you care about sports? Fine. They got sports coverage too. Fox Sports, ESPN, the latest weather update. You can master your game with all types of. They got the 3D graphics and just all kinds of stuff. You can play little video games and whatnot. It's the VCast. It's the VCast. And right now, you can get a free, you can get 2 months free with a VCast VPAC. The $15 monthly access is then added to your Verizon Wireless calling plan thereafter. It's terrific. Go to Circuit City or stop by any Verizon Wireless communication store. It's Verizon Wireless. And through 9/11 and beyond, they never stop working for you. Now, I must tell you the disclaimer. Subject to customer agreement, calling plan, and get it now agreements. Subscription to VCast, VPAC, and VCast phone required. The VCast coverage area is available in 30 markets and covers 75 million people. Works for me. Who the hell do I really need to talk to? I don't know 75 million people. It reaches everybody that I need to, and I'm just taking movies and playing games. When I'm busy in the store, I give my phone to my son. He plays the games, catching up on my gossip and the weather. Thank you, Verizon Wireless, for being heavy sponsors here on the Wendy Williams Experience. Art, do I give these things back to you to put in the book because you were keeper of all information, or do I throw them away?
No, I keep them.
Okay. What is today, Tuesday? Tomorrow's Wednesday, the Wendy Williams Comedy Experience over at the Laugh Factory. Really looking forward to that. Don't forget, Friday, the place to be is the WBLS live broadcast from Lounge 42 in Mount Vernon, New York. My brother came last week. He came, on his own. I was surprised to see him there. He didn't even ask me to be put on a guest list. He was ready to peel and come on in. Just so happens that, we arrived at the same time. And when I pulled up, he was standing outside looking at the purple Wendy WBLS Hummer. And so I pulled up at the same time and we came. I was like, what are you doing here? And he said, well, I hear you talk about it on the radio. So we decided to, drive over and see what's going on. He was like, you're right. The directions really are easy. He's coming from New Jersey, The directions really are easy. It's exit 7 off the Cross County Parkway. And so then when we get in the club, he's like, I see him across the room with his whatever he's drinking juice, giving me a toast and, the mouth that says, not bad. When you twist your lip down, not bad. I see him snapping his neck, getting into the Chuck Chill Out, sounds and whatnot. He's married, but, doesn't mean you're dead. Looking around and the beautiful ladies, men with hard bottoms, because he said to me, gosh, I'm glad I listened, because he wore hard bottoms. He said, I was going to wear my Gore-Tex boots. I said, well, you'd be a fool. Hard Bottom Fridays, Lounge 42, exit 7 off the Cross County Parkway. Come check it out for yourself. I'm telling you, it's in Mount Vernon. But as far as I'm concerned, nothing like meeting new faces in new places. So come on out. I invite you. And then Saturday, I'm over at the gallery in Jersey City, which is always fun. That's the Old Rascals. Over on, what's the street called? Marim Boulevard. Shout out to my girl, Little Miss Nana. Her birthday party is being celebrated on May 6th. And so it's like her first, grown-up birthday party. It's at a club in East Orange. I don't have time to give you all information, whatever, but she has a website, lilnana.com. It's L-I-L, lilnana.com. And Nana, shout out to you. Can I just tell you something? I've arranged for an extremely special surprise. Okay, it wasn't really me. It was more like question mark, your dad, and me. A really special surprise. Little Nana, girl, bring your camera. I'm so happy for you.
It's like this?
It's like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So go on, kids. Go to her website. And the party's going to be in East Orange. It's actually going to be at a nightclub, but early hours with no booze. Oh. You see what I'm saying? But the music is going to be like, like today's R&B and hip hop and stuff, And the lights will be dimmed like it's after midnight. Right. But it'll be like, like...
They'll be able to leave in time for bed.
Yeah, oh yes. Bedtime 9 o'clock. Oh. You little whippersnappers. And Miss Wendy will be laying in the cut watching everything. Right. All right, so happy birthday, Lil Nana, LILNAN.com. NANA.com. All right, let's continue because we're in the midst of Advice Hour here on The Experience on 107.5 WPLS. It's the Wendy Williams Experience. And, okay, listen to this one. We haven't heard from one of these in a long time. I love when girls like this decide to give of themselves and really share with the experience. Dear Wendy, I have a hum. What is that? I have a hum.
I do too.
I don't know. All right. Anyway, dear Wendy, my name is Sydney, and I'm from New Jersey. I'm 26 years old. I'm black, and I have a master's degree in public relations. I'm currently working as a PR executive at a place that she names in Harlem. I make in the 60s, and I have no children. Well, I recently met an entertainer, a rapper, who seemed very ignorant upon our first meeting, but turned out to be very delightful, Wendy. Our first 3 dates were all in the afternoon, and I felt comfortable enough to visit him while he toured in the Ohio area. He's from California. Well, I like rap music, and I thought I would enjoy being a guest of his show, but I was so surprised by what I saw when I got there. This is Advice Hour, so this all ends with a question. He was staying at a 5-star hotel, and since we never had sex, I wanted to stay with him and enjoy my 3-day vacation with this man. Night number 1, I arrived, and he picked me up at the airport with 7 men and took me to the hotel. I went with him to rehearsal and met the other rapper that was touring with him. We went back to the room and ordered 4 shrimp cocktails, 2 filet mignons, and 2 brushed salmons and some Moet. We sat in the jacuzzi and talked and sipped and didn't have sex until he passed out in the jacuzzi. What? Wait, hold on. We sat in the jacuzzi and talked and sips, didn't have sex. Oh, excuse me, because he passed out in the jacuzzi. Well, it happens. So far, I don't see anything wrong. Day number 2. We wake up for breakfast and the phone rings in the room. I could hear it was a female screaming at him and threatening to come to the hotel room. We got dressed and had breakfast, and he took me shopping, to my surprise, because I bought $5,000 of my own money. Good girl. No, because that could be for anything, and I'm not thinking shopping. That could be for anything. Like she has to get away. She has to jump in a livery cab and have it take her back to New York or whatever, Hey, it happens like that sometimes. But you know what? The smart girl is always prepared. All right, let me continue. All right, we got dressed, had breakfast. He took me shopping, to my surprise, because I bought $5,000 of my own money. Well, Wendy, that night I learned that I was with some hoodnooker. Well, what did you think? He's a rapper. We go to his show, and the woman that was screaming on the phone was his baby's mama. I don't know why you're surprised, but I'll continue. She was shooting me rocks and rolling her eyes and wouldn't look at me when he tried to introduce us. Then on top of that, the audience started throwing up gang signs, and I see him in all his red doing the same thing. It hits me, Wendy. I'm dating a blood. See, my brother was killed by a gang in Newark, and I have spent all my life trying to get away from this uncivilized behavior. Sidebar. Trying to get away from it is one thing, but you're a 26-year-old black girl, and I'm sorry, there is a certain amount of knowledge that we as black people, I don't care whether you're 26 or 46, because if you're 46, that means that you have a 16-year-old son. We need to be abreast of everything. So I don't know who you thought your little high sedity behind was trying to get your education and escape. What you escaping?
You're right back there.
You're right back in the hood now, baby. Well, needless to say, okay, hold on. Where did I lose this? Okay. See, my brother was killed by a gang in Newark, and I've spent my life trying to get away from this uncivilized behavior. Well, needless to say, I lied when we got back to the hotel room and told him that I had to return to New Jersey because an emergency came up. He took me to the airport, purchased me a $1,200 last-minute ticket, and kissed me goodbye. Now, he's sending me flowers and cards and jewelry and saying how he has never met such a focused woman. I am not at all impressed with any of this because I can have what he has. I have my own money. I already have Jimmy Choo shoes. Wendy, I don't want to tell him that it's because of the gang affiliation, so on and so forth. Well, listen, sister, if you're smart enough to have a master's degree and smart enough to bring $5,000 while meeting a dusty rapper for the first time out of state, then you were smart enough to hatch your own plan as to why it is you can't see him. And I co-sign with you. He seems like a real sweetheart and really nice. Gang affiliation aside, and no, I wouldn't bring it up that he's involved with the gang, and so that's why you can't be with him, because he's not going to forsake his gang affiliation for you. All he'll end up doing is lying to you in order to have you. But what I would tell him is that, you're not interested in the lifestyle. The lifestyle is a little too fast. The baby's mama thing got you caught up. You got back with your old boyfriend. Come on, girl. A million things that you can say. But, I don't know. Like, Art, I can't figure out why she was so surprised by anything. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Shout out to all my folk. We can't get but so out of touch. I was guessing that also because he's really sweet. We can't get but so out of touch with the streets. Shout out to the streets. Because no matter how much education, no matter how far up a hill that we are able to afford to live, many of us, and how many private schools we can send our children or whatever, somehow it all comes back around to the streets when you were black and you were living in this country. And you've got to stay in touch with what is going on. That's why shout out to the streets. I try my best to never forsake you. I was not raised in the streets. I was raised in Ocean Township, New Jersey. But, I was raised enough to understand. My father's from the streets, and my mother was raised as a princess. And, somehow they got, but they didn't teach me to, I just learned that through, maybe when I was in college, all I could pay attention to were the projects in the back of the school and all those cute dusty boys and all that chief and all them classes to cut. And I was buck wild, little good girl from the suburbs right out of Ocean Township. What? Shout out to Skeeter. Shout out to Rusty P, the Toe Jammer. Shout out to Pookie and them, the Johnson crew. Thank you for holding me D. Oh, and shout out to everybody from Campus Life too. Anyway, my dear heart, you're smart enough to figure out a very eloquent way of letting him know that you're not interested. He is not going to forsake his gang for you. I wish you well. Thank you.
Wendy, man.
You can go on the stand, Steve, but the point is keep your mouth shut. Anybody from the streets knows that. You never talk on nobody.
The Wendy Williams Experience.